Welcome back to another video. Whoa, one second. My name is T. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm making a video about a blog post, but it's a freaking good blog post. Shout out to sumo.com for this incredible blog post about how Tony Robbins generates 1 million website views per month, but particularly how he funnels people to actually convert and become people in his program. And I gotta say, I've read about half of the blog post and I just was like, stop reading, go grab the camera, film this stuff, because this blog post is freaking incredible. If you're trying to sell something on the internet, which I've done, I've driven over 10,000 conversions online for people to buy products. Like perfect strangers, people just come to a website and end up buying something. I've done that 10,000 times, so I know a thing or two about this space, and I know that this blog article is like beyond good. So I wanted to share it with you guys. I wanted to go through some of the highlights of it, and hopefully you guys can adopt some of these things on your website, your Shopify store, your Magento store, or whatever store you have. Hopefully you can adopt some of these methods to get people to convert a little bit more often, a little bit more sales, give you their money more often. That's the goal. All right, so we're gonna skip past the top level stuff because it's just showing you like how great Tony Robbins is doing. He's doing something right, totally agree. Table of contents, skip it, don't need it. So it's like through a bunch of tip formats, but honestly, like I'm just gonna go through and like hit the key points with you guys so that we keep this kind of succinct and quick. This is the entire splash page and or homepage, I guess you'd call it. Homepage, boom, long screenshot of that, and they've circled every single time that you can click through into some sort of funnel, into some sort of avenue that drives you a little bit further into the Tony Robbins like experience and the Tony Robbins like driving you closer to the conversion basically. And they counted a total of 10 opportunities to click through in the website. So 10 times, that's a high amount of times on the homepage that you could possibly click in to sort of buy a product, kind of. Like I'll get into more detail. Anyway, take that note. And we're actually gonna go through and break down the order that all these all these are posted in. So the first thing is a survey. Take your free life assessment. Not survey, quiz, right? Quiz. Quiz. Well, I guess it's not a quiz, it's a life assessment. Take your free life assessment. So first of all, there's a button offering something for free right at the top above the fold. That's great. Obviously you're offering people some sort of value. Cool. Next up, another button right after that that says schedule your call. So taking the assessment is a low barrier commitment type of thing. Scheduling your call is a bit higher commitment, higher barrier, still free though to do. Okay, so that's 2 click-throughs, and then there's a couple of more lower barrier ones, just more like offering value. Like here's, do you want to learn more? Really, Kuno? You've got the entire apartment, and that's where you want to be right now. Yep, we're doing this. Okay, so then there's a couple of click-through buttons where they like just offer you information that you can learn more about stuff. Cool, easy. I actually might take that tip if I do build out my next, when I build out my next website, I might do a little bit more like learn more type buttons that actually flow through into articles that are informative, that offer value for the visitors. Super smart. Next, he just like name drops, which is fine. I mean, like that may not be an option for all of us, so I'm just gonna skip over it. He has an app. Another thing that's offering value to the visitor hopefully, you know, it offers like probably just a taste of what it's like to work with Tony, but it's a pretty low barrier. A lot of people downloading apps these days, a lot of people like that format. Not really an option for the average person who's trying to sell online, so I'm skipping. I do like this little tip that basically they're repeating the same formula. Whatever the quiz or assessment format is, that's how they actually format their blog posts too. So they're like reusing this format. You can go on, look at a blog post and steal all of that format if you want. If you need to use that for your own content, highly recommend doing that. I haven't looked into what their blog posts look like, but I'm assuming they're good. The next click through is like reserve your seat. This is the big ask. This is like the, you know, multi-$1,000 events that he has. But it's, what's cool is it's sandwiched between two free asks. It's sandwiched between the free podcast and the free newsletter. So the idea of like having the big ask between those two hopefully cuts the edge a little bit of the big ask. Like, yes, it's just one of many possible things that you could do from the Tony Robbins website. This happens to be the higher cost one, but like there's plenty of meat on the bone here if you're not ready for that. Instead of just putting the big ask right at the top, front and foremost, reserve your seat, they put it like way down, which is really interesting, but it makes sense. As someone who does I view things a little bit more skeptically online, and for a second I thought I forgot to hit record. Holy crap, I would have been so mad. I review websites and things programs a little bit more skeptically, so that sort of stuff does actually help cut the edge for people like me to see that they're willing to offer value to me with or without me converting. Very smart. So here's a really cool tip. These invisible mini funnels, okay? So these are the learn more buttons that I talked about earlier. There's a couple of more lower barrier ones, just more like offering value. Like do you want to learn more? Really, Kuno? Or they like just offer you information that you can learn more about stuff. Cool, easy. When you click on them, they go to new pages and offer new types of value for the viewer. But literally, in the URL, even though it's like increased revenue, like showing, like trying to offer value, the actual URL still has increased revenue funnel, which is, I'm pretty sure, not intentional. Like, you're not supposed to see that they're calling it a funnel. We all know that it's a sales funnel, but like, that's a little bit of like seeing behind the blinds here. This is like a business funnel to get businesses to go down this rabbit hole on the website, and ultimately there will be an ask, probably to reserve a seat at the Tony Robbins convention type stuff. Again, the website just continues to offer free value, free value, free value. It's very much like the Gary Vee give, take type of method that he talks about so much. They're doing that here on their website. Even if you click, all right, so there's multiple pages. Maximize Your Health page is called Maximize Vitality Funnel. So they should really rename these pages. The actual URLs have the word funnel in them. That's too freaking funny. This tip is kind of irrelevant. It's about Tony Robbins having such a great name, like meaning his name is so recognizable that they're using it in the ads, which is great and smart and stuff, but like that's not a tip that anyone can just do. So we're skipping it because, you know, no one knows or knows who T is, and most people don't care. So that's not gonna work in an ad for me. I do like this peacock technique. And although I don't think everyone can make use of it, like you may still need to grow your social profiles a bit to peacock your follower accounts and stuff like that. But if you take 6 months and focus every day on trying to grow a certain profile every single day for 6 months, you will get a number of followers that is worth peacocking. So even like 10,000, if you can reach 10,000, oh wow, all right. This cat is really restless and really not happy that I'm filming a video right now. He wants to be all up in the biz. He just wants a little bit of a hug. You guys are getting extra Kuno time today. On your website, it is an option. You can display how many followers you have on your social websites. on your social profiles. Do that. That's smart. I never did that on any of my websites. I should do that. LinkedIn, quick note on LinkedIn. Posting videos and content on LinkedIn is doing quite well present day as I film this. LinkedIn, if you're anywhere business minded at all, or your products are, highly recommend posting to LinkedIn. I post my videos to LinkedIn and they do, honestly, they get more views, depending on how a view is counted, but they get more views than my YouTube videos right now. So LinkedIn's doing pretty well. Like, check it out. So he's using LinkedIn, great. Tip number 6 is about the sales call strategy. Taking these leads and really massaging them and turning them into people who are really ready to convert by engaging with them, by calling them, by talking to them. I cannot emphasize this part of the strategy enough. This is what takes someone from no way to maybe, yeah, I could see myself maybe grabbing that, picking that up, purchasing that program. It's all about trust. When someone comes to your website, they just don't trust you. Like, why should they trust you? But when you start talking to them as a human to human, having a real conversation, something changes and they start thinking of you as a person, like the person that you actually are. I know it can be a hassle, it can be a time suck, or feel like it's a time suck to talk to every single one of your customers, to talk to every single one of your leads individually. It takes time to do that, but it is so worth it because people will convert based on those conversations. And so that's what tip number 6 is really all about, is Tony Robbins' process for that. You can read more in depth if you want to know exactly how they do it. Tip number 7 is having a carousel on your website showing whatever it is that you really need to show your customer. So you need to kind of know what your customer is all about and what they're going to be thinking for the carousel at the top of the website. Highly recommend that you have a carousel. My website, where I converted 10,000 customers, did have a carousel, and it was all about education, because what I was selling was a product that was new to the market and people didn't quite know what it was just by looking at it. So it was a carousel of different arrows pointing to different things with a few keywords saying, this is what this is, this is what that is, switch over to the next one, this is what this is. That's what I had to do. That worked, that drove conversions. Whatever, you got to know what your customer is all about, or what information they're missing in order to put a proper carousel together. Highly recommend you have that on your website though. Tip number 9 is just like have a popular, highly ranked podcast. Yeah, you can try to do that. I mean, actually, it is pretty doable because podcasts, the way podcasts are ranked in their categories as far as top, is it's based on acceleration of followers, not total number of followers. So if you launch a podcast today and it gets a few hundred followers immediately, that might skyrocket it to the top of the ranking for that category, even though it's not really the top podcast, because it's based on acceleration. If you got a lot of followers all at once, you're going to skyrocket your podcast. That's a good tip, but not everyone can really make that happen easily, so we're going to skip that tip. Tip number 10 is so applicable for you guys trying to get your hustle on at home. Writing articles that people share, it's really tough to do. It's hard to offer that level of value where people share your blog posts. However, embedded within that tip is another tip, which is guest write for other blogs. And that really is something you should focus on. Put it on your task board to do it once a week. Go and write a guest blog post on a website that is relevant for your audience, for your market. That's something I never tested out, but I'm willing to bet it works. So consider doing that. And then you can also like kind of backlink to your stuff down at the bottom of the article. If you do that, let me know down in the comments how that works out for you. Okay, so that's the basics of this article. I've linked the article in the description if you want to click through and read it for yourself. It is a fantastic read. I just had to share some of these things because I really do believe having all those little mini funnels on your website is something that you really should try to put into practice on your website to drive conversions. I can tell just by looking at this that these are the types of things that will drive more conversions, that will end up for you with more offering you more money, more sales, more growth, all of that stuff. And it's a win for your customers too, because the fewer people who drop off your website who really should have bought your stuff, you know what I mean, who really do need whatever product it is that you're selling, you know, you're filling them as well if your website isn't good enough to show them what your value is. Let me know what you guys thought of this video. Subscribe to the channel. If you're not watching this on YouTube, that's okay. Go to YouTube and subscribe to the channel, because that's where, I don't even know, that's where I make videos, even though I post them everywhere. Yeah, it's getting pretty confusing. Thanks for watching this on LinkedIn. Thanks for watching this on Facebook. I'll just say it all. All right. Peace, guys. My name's T. I'm leaving. Goodbye. Love you all.